They'll bring it out to the right circle. 33 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Here's a shot blocked, diving block by Waken on Alfaro. Jolie, left circle over to McNally, right circle, skates in, shoots, blocked by Lee. Indy can't clear. McNally kicks it up to the point to Josling, feed it in front, Backless slides across, makes another incredible save. Puck loose, diving clear made by Matt Marcineau. McNally at his own line, ahead to Sylvester, up the left wing boards, sends it into the Fuel zone, into the left wing corner. Cliff Watson able to outlet to Raskov. Puck exploded off of his stick right into his own crease, but he was able to recover. Raskov indirect pass for Thomas across the line. Puts on the brakes left wing circle. Waits for reinforcements. Stick handles and now drops it for Raskov. Shoots through traffic and scores! Willie Raskov with a wrist shot from the high slot. The Fuel lead it 2-0. And now Petgrave loses the puck at center. Sent ahead by Nick Pirog. He's got a breakaway to the backhand score! Nick Pirog makes it 4-0 with a great play at his own line. He flipped the puck ahead, split the D. The self pass sprung Pirog, and then a beautiful move to the backhand, and Indy with a 4-0 lead. Fuel win the draw. Lee over to McNicholas, right wing boards. Seam pass, Cuglietta steps in and scores! Diego Cuglietta, welcome to Indy. A goal and an assist in his first game with the Fuel. And he ripped one from the inside of the left wing circle into the top shelf. And the Fuel lead it 2-0, a power play goal for Diego Cuglietta. Nick Paling's pass knocked down, but it comes right back to him. Gains the Fuel line, tried to hook it over to Bachman along the right wing boards, couldn't get it to him. And Mike Lee takes the puck behind his own net. Jack Paling forces it free to his twin brother Nick. Nick Paling along the far wall, sends it in behind the net to Bachman. He'll kick it to the forehand, take it back out along the left wing wall, cycle it up to the point now for Carlisle. Over to Bachman, and back up to Carlisle, left point. He'll skate in, feed Nick Paling, and sliding across is Dan Bakula to Rob Paling on the back door. Another great save from Dan Bakula to keep this a 3-0 game. Along the half wall, outside of the circle, sends it up top to Davison, now to the right circle. Willie Raskov skates in, hooks it over to Broadhurst. He shoots, save made, rebound loose in the slot, comes out to Davison. He shoots.
Oh, what a
and
stop.
Lekas makes a tremendous save and holds on for a whistle. Second period action getting set to begin between the Indy Fuel and Wheeling Nailers. We are scoreless. Shots on goal are 12-9 in favor of Wheeling. Really good start for the Fuel. Wheeling ended up with 9 of the last 10 shots on goal in the period. And they were able to generate a little bit more off their forecheck as the period went on. So Nick Olczyk, really the key for the Fuel, puck retrieval and making that first pass out of the zone and getting that transition game going where the Fuel really have their strengths, where their strengths lie.
And a guy who I thought excelled in each one of those categories in the opening 20 minutes was Cliff Watson. He made a couple really nice pinches to keep plays alive in the offensive zone, made that unbelievable diving play to break up the backdoor pass for the Wheeling Nailers. So a real strong first period from the captain, leading by example. We'll see if he can keep that going in the middle frame.
The puck is down to begin the second period, and right away we've got a whistle, and Alex Rauter was down, and we have a penalty. And Kyle Marino is going to sit for high sticking.
And it's just going to be a minor penalty, no blood, as the official Jacob Rukucki holds up the two fingers, the index and the middle. And the Fuel with a power play 4 seconds in. Nothing better than a power play player to play on the man advantage with a fresh sheet of ice.
Second power play of the game for Indy. Matt Marcineau wins the draw back to Mike Lee at the right point. He'll skate in. Backhanded to Willie Raskob, and the puck was bouncing on him, and Willie couldn't hold it in. He takes it back with Alfaro in on the forecheck and is able to play it through center. Marcineau, rink wide to Pirog. His shot is deflected up and over the net. Duchesne hammers it around and out of play. It was deflected off of the glass, so no penalty, and the faceoff will come back into the Wheeling zone.
Well, big Michael Pelech, you know where to find him on the power play. He's going to be standing right in front of the goaltender to try and take away his eyes, just as he did on that first power play that the Fuel had back in the first period. Plays a really, really important role using that big frame. Played a lot of games in this league and is on the verge of history as well, Andrew.
That needs 2 assists to move into third place all-time in the league in assists. Michael Pelech playing in game number 742 of his ECHL career. Has 388 helpers.
Hopefully he can do it in the next couple of home games. Would love to witness some history.
Matt Marcineau tries to play it through center. It comes to Willie Raskob across the Wheeling line with speed. Puts on the brakes at the bottom of the right wing circle. Sends it up to the center point to Mike Lee. Over to Marcineau. Now back to Raskob. Over to Lee. Left point. Skates into the circle. Backhands it off the boards to Raskob. Rink wide Marcineau. Puck hopped over his stick, but he'll track it down along the right wing boards and sweep it in through both corners to Raskob. Explodes off of his stick. Comes into the left wing corner. Duchesne will wrap it around. Marcineau holds it in. No, he can't at the right point. He tried to, but the puck hopped over his stick. Puck kind of bouncing like a basketball here. The NCAA tournament was in this building a couple of weeks ago, and the Fuel iced the puck on the power play as a pass doesn't connect from the defensive zone, so it'll come back into the Indy end. 45 seconds to go on the man advantage. We played 1:20 of the second period. It seems like the puck's bouncing a lot tonight, and that has fouled this power play a couple of times as players haven't been able to handle it at the blue line.
Bouncing along the ice, also along the boards. That clearance from Chad Duchesne. Matt Marcineau was expecting it just to kind of ride the boards, so he sealed it with his butt and his backside along with his back, and the puck just kind of took a quick jump off the boards at the last second and went into the middle of the ice. That's why he couldn't keep it in.
Turnover. Nick Rivera right down Main Street, short-handed. O'Brien comes across and makes a tremendous save on the breakaway. The Fuel turned it over at center, and Rivera had a clear breakaway. Yetman brings it into the Wheeling zone. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Jared Thomas now has it high slot. Feeds to the left side. Tim Davison behind the net. Back to Davison along the left boards. Puck hops over his stick, and Rivera skates it out. Wheeling with numbers the other way, short-handed. Back check from Davison. Tries to force it free as Rivera backhands it in behind the Fuel net. Austin Fight checked into the boards as Marino's out of the box and forces a turnover. Top of the left wing circle, shoots high. Lively Karam off the inboards. Fight and tried to jam it, but couldn't pull it past the post. Up to the point, McNally, a wrist one blocked by Yetman out to neutral ice, and Keone Texera will track it down in his own zone as Wheeling has to tag up.
Well, this game very well could be 2 or 3-0 in favor of Wheeling. If not for Tom Aubrun, he's made 2 breakaway saves. He's been unbelievable.
And Josh Winquist almost had a tremendous chance after a turnover right in front of the net, but a good poke check prevented that play from developing. Here's Spencer Watson, high slot, dangles through 2, takes it to the forehand, forced wide, tries to center, gets it to Router, but he's pushed off the puck by Watling, and the Nailers bring it the other way, 3-on-3 across the line. Pass deflects in on Aubrun, and he sticks it to the glove and covers up for a whistle with 17:02 to go. Scoreless second period, and a couple of nervous moments early for Indy. Rivera with a breakaway and then the turnover to Winquist in front of the net. But so far, they've been able to hold the fort.
Aubrun has been sharp. He's done more than just give his team a chance to win the game. And that most recent chance for Indy, Spencer Watson showing off those slick stick-handling mitts. Went through 2 Wheeling Naylor players, and it looked like he was hooked at the last second. Just kind of got a stick in his hands from Patrick McNally. That's what kind of threw the puck off of his stick. Couldn't keep possession, but a good opportunity and a good response from Spencer Watson after a couple of saves from Abrun.
Wheeling wins the draw, fires a shot that gets blocked, and the Fuel play it out into the Wheeling zone. Into the right wing corner, Nick Hutchison in on the forecheck. It's swept past him by Winquist up to McPherson, who skates it through center. Sends it into the Fuel zone, goes after it himself below the goal line. He and Osipov bump each other as the puck hops into the far boards. Winquist holds it in briefly. It's batted out to center by the Fuel. Batted forward by Jared Thomas right down Main Street. Hooks over to McNicholas. Centers for Hutchison, and Kozin with his best save of the night denies Hutchison from the doorstep. That was almost a tic-tac goal. Beautiful passing play, but Kozin with the save. Fuel bring it back into the Wheeling zone. Back diagonal, Chris Martinet tries to handle the puck, bats it forward, and nobody wants to touch it because it would have been a hand pass, and finally the official blows the play dead with 16:01 to go, and Chris Martinet just batted that forward to keep it in, and of course Wheeling wasn't going to touch the puck because they knew if Indy did, it would be a whistle, and so finally they just blew it dead.
That was an incredible triangle passing play for the Fuel. Good quick entry into the zone by Jared Thomas, and then a couple of cross-seam passes, and somehow Taran Kozin able to make the save. And I think what helped him is because he was way out on the top of his crease, and by the time the puck got to the Indy Fuel player at the net front, there wasn't much of an angle to either hoist that puck up into the upper half of the net because the goaltender was completely on the ice. So opportunity missed thanks to a good save. And I also just noticed, partner, in that last time out there, Alex Rauter went to the dressing room with medical trainer George Bullock.
Here's Lawton Courtnall coming in and firing a shot that is saved, and we have a whistle and a penalty coming on the Fuel as Courtnall was slashed on the way to the goal. And so Wheeling to the power play for the second time in this game.
Well, you do certain things to separate yourself from the rest of the pack. And Lawton Courtnall, one of the faster players on this Wheeling team, was able to get body position on Keone Teixeira and trying to deny entry to the net. Teixeira uses his stick in a slashing motion downward on the hands of Lawton Courtnall. So a power play now for Wheeling as the Fuel's penalty kill will get a workout here with 15:49 to go in the second.
Teixeira is the penalty for slashing at 4:11. Wheeling wins the draw. Jacob Pritchard at the point to Jesse Lees. Back over to Pritchard, left circle. Skates in, sends one goalward. Rivera fires one on goal and scores. Power play goal as Wheeling worked it to the front. Nick Rivera on a jam play was able to get it past Tom Abrun, and the Nailers draw first blood. It's 1-0.
Nick Rivera's been hanging around the net all game for this Wheeling Nailers team, especially on the power play. And Jacob Pritchard makes the play. Skate in, and that's a pass towards the stick of Nick Rivera, looking for a little redirection on the initial play. But Rivera, give credit to him, he stayed with it. And he essentially picks up his own rebound and just kind of floated up and over Tom Abrun. Don't think he got the shot away that he exactly wanted, but found its way to the back of the net. And the Nailers score on the power play, and a struggling penalty kill for the Indy Fuel will continue.
Yeah, the Fuel now in their last 7 games, counting tonight, have given up power play goals on 14 of the 30 opposing power plays. They've given up at least one power play goal in 7 consecutive games. Miller with it at the right point, and it's deflected out of play. Pritchard and Lees with the assists on Nick Rivera's 9th goal of the season, a power play goal at 4:22. Came just 11 seconds into the power play.
And Rivera had some time to make a play. And, I mean, look, give credit. That's a set play where if you're on a power play, you're looking for sticks, shooting for sticks. Think about what Mike Lee and Spencer Watson did in that first period where you're shooting for a stick. And Pritchard attacked, and the original shot for the redirection didn't work out, but then Rivera stayed with it. And Tom Abrun not able to make the save. So now the Fuel have to find a way to go back to work, get some momentum on your side, and Try and turn the tide in a game where you're down 1-0.
Nailers send it into the Fuel zone after winning the draw, and Mike Lee turns it over at center, but then gets it back at his own line. Patrick Watling plays it away from him, but loses it to McNicholas. Ahead to Spencer Watson. Has a step, shoots wide from the left circle. Rebound caroms out to Willie Raskob. He wrists one that's deflected over the net. Spencer Watson tries to jam it out in front. McNicholas couldn't get it through. Kozin, the goaltender, comes over to the near corner in the wheeling in. McNicholas takes the body, forces the puck free into the right wing corner, and then holds it in along the half wall. Look to center to Spencer Watson, but it was picked off by Winquist and played out to neutral ice by the Nailers.
A cornucopia of chances tonight for Spencer Watson, and you just feel it's a matter of time before he finds the back of the net.
Nailers play it into the zone. Cody Sylvester tried to send it goalward, but it was blocked back into his skates. Up to the point for Adam Smith. He'll wrist one through both corners. Comes out to Michael McNicholas for the Fuel, and he'll hoist one out to center. And it's taken by Pelech ahead to Yetman across the wheeling line. Looks off at the end, scores! Chad Yetman ties this at one as he rips it past Taryn Kozin, and he used a little head fake to look off the D and the goaltender and sell the pass, and then he rips it past the goaltender to tie this one up.
Well, this play starts in the defensive zone. The high flip to get out of the way of the forecheck. And it's Chad Yetman. You could see Patrick Watling of Wheeling, who tried to catch that puck. Just a little stick to knock it down for Yetman in a 2-on-1. You're right, Andrew. Little head fake over, keeping both the defenseman and the goaltender honest. And he lets the ice burner go, the daisy cutter right along the ice. And Taryn Kozin does not have an answer. That's a huge goal. So now the Fuel have some momentum to build off of. We're all tied.
Came a minute, 24 seconds after the Wheeling goal. It's Yetman's first ECHL goal. Now here's Fighton. Ahead to Alfaro. Puck hops over his stick. It's back to Fighton. Looks to play it ahead to Marino, left corner in the Fuel zone. Marino takes it up top. Wrist one that's blocked by Cliff Watson out to neutral ice. Cliff follows the puck in. Marino, who takes it to Lees, is able to get past AD. Drops for a centering feed that doesn't connect to Marino coming up the far side. Puck loose along the near boards, taken by Michael Pelech, who had the assist on the Yetman goal. Yetman tried to stick handle through a D, couldn't, and now the puck comes back into the Fuel zone. Tom Aubron way out of his net to play it to Chris Martinet as Matt Alfaro was hunting it for Wheeling. Pass into the Wheeling zone doesn't connect, in the Fuel ice the puck. 13-11 to go. We're tied at 1. The goal for the Fuel, Yetman from Pelech at 5:46, and just one assist on the play.
I think that's the right call, because the high flip out of the zone to get through the forecheck was then handed down, or at least caught initially by Watling, but the eventual goal scorer Chad Yetman did a real nice job of just kind of throwing his stick towards the hand just to kind of knock down that puck. And you had two Wheeling players trying to go the other way and play offense, and he comes down and he just absolutely buries it right between the legs of the Wheeling goaltender. So congratulations to Chad Yetman, a guy who the Blackhawk organization is extremely high on, having drafted him last summer.
Here's a feed in front for Pritchard. He hits the iron. Pritchard from the inside of the left wing circle hits the post. Here come the Fuel the other way. Rink-wide pass a little bit behind Sullivan as it was deflected by the Nailers, and they look for transition the other way. Brady Tomlak, 3-on-2 across the line to McPherson. Fire save made. Rebound swept away from Nick Rivera as he had an open side.
And that was Joe Sullivan, who made an incredible defensive play, because that shot, the rebound was right there for Rivera. He would have had a wide open net, but Joe Sullivan there to save the day and swipe the puck away.
Tied at 1, 12:25 to go in the second period. Joe Sullivan will play it in behind the Wheeling net. Kozin with the green pads of the University of Saskatchewan settles it down. Here's Matt Marcineau looking to center for Sullivan, but he's played off the puck by McNally, and the puck sits at the side of the cage where Kozin covers up for a whistle. 12:11 to go in the second period. Chad Yetman has this one tied up at 1. This is Indy Fuel Hockey. The Indy Fuel are back home tonight to take on the Fort Wayne Komets at a Thursday night, 7:05 p.m. face-off at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. It's time for tonight's Keys to the Game, presented by Shelbourne Knee Center. Along with Nick Olczyk, I'm Andrew Smith. Nick, this Fort Wayne team comes in having won 4 consecutive games, but the Fuel have the league's leading goal scorer in Nick Pirog, who has 16 goals on the season. He comes in playing some really good hockey. How important is he to the Fuel's success tonight and this season?
Well, he's critical. I mean, you look at what he's done from the very first game this year. You knew how important of a player he was going to be. You're right, 16 goals, 5 of them on the power play. So it's not like he's getting all of his cookies on the man advantage. But when I think of Nick Pirog, you look at the jersey number that he wears, 61. That's pretty bold. Reminds me a lot of the guy who wears the same number, the captain for the Vegas Golden Knights, Mark Stone. Big, powerful players, really good at back checking, supporting his defenseman, has a great stick. And you know the offense is going to be there. An incredible penalty killer as well, which Doug Christensen has used him in a position a lot as of late. So he's had a great year so far, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon.
Nick Pirog and the Fuel taking on the Fort Wayne Komets in the 5th of 20 meetings between these two Hoosier State rivals. The puck drops at 7:05 p.m. Those are the Keys to the Game, presented by Shelbourne Knee Center.